The views expressed on the Nova Society are those of the panelists and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the Phoenix Research Institute or any institution which any panel member is associated.
I'd like to welcome everyone back to the Nova Society. I'm your host, Dr. Brooklyn Ann Weldon, and I'm here with the panel, Dr. Scott Gershwer and Dr. Mark Bound.
Well, it's a doubleheader today for the Mets.
There we go.
Right. The June swoon is over. Well, welcome to July. Let's get going here, fellas, and make sure that we're playing our best baseball now as we head through the summer into the break and continue on to the World Series. Begins now.
Of course, I guess we can say this is going to be a short one. So let's do a little bit of baseball. What do you think about the rumors that the Mets might try to get DeGrom back?
I hadn't seen that, but they could use pitching. They could use pitching.
They could use pitching.
DeGrom may be made of glass, but he can pitch.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of surprising some of the really good pitchers. Canick, he's gone now. Mm-hmm. I think he's on the injured list. Manaea is supposed to be on his way back.
Yeah, should be back next week.
Right.
Yeah, I think he had one more outing in the minor leagues, which, by the way, is not that far from here. It's in Brooklyn. I think he was pitching in Brooklyn, and I probably should have gone down to that game. I was in Brooklyn yesterday. I mean, I go to see my mom, and I could have just. I don't know if he was pitching yesterday or when he's pitching. I'll have to look that up. But it's so close, and it's a nice little park to be in. They have kind of cool stuff going on. They do a Elaine from Seinfeld dancing contest. That's a hoot people really get into. And it's a single A ball, but it's in New York City, so it's not far for the players to travel.
Right.
When they do their tune-up and they just, head over to the ballpark, the big ballpark in Queens.
That's the Cyclones, right?
The Cyclones, yeah. Yeah, it's fun. Oh. It's good fun if you come to New York and you get a chance to see them. I know you guys got minor league ball teams down there, but
actually, Spartanburg just got its new ball team. They were supposed to be low A. They are they actually first they moved them up to high A. And they are in the same league as the Cyclones. The Cyclones play in the Northern Division, and we play in the Southern Division of that league. So when you see these Spartan Burgers come invade, what a terrible name that is. Come invade your, the Cyclones, yeah. And I look forward to seeing the Cyclones play down here. So we'll be keeping an eye out for that. But yeah, the Mets not a good June. Not a very good June. Very bad last 2 weeks. Swept by Pittsburgh. Looked really bad. Outscored 30-4 in 3 games. And again, people are beginning to panic because, as Mets fans, we believe that we are cursed. This way it's supposed to work.
It's hard not to. Look,
it is very hard not to.
Met fans have taken some hits over the years. I mean, this last couple of weeks in June was pretty brutal. It was maybe 3 weeks in June. Were pretty brutal, but we've lived through that. Like you could shake this off with a laugh, after some of the stuff we've seen. I mean, for me, it's probably Beltran keeping the bat on his shoulder while Wainwright threw that big hook at him and he didn't even bother swinging at it. What's the guy's name? Oh, thank God, I've forgotten his name. No, I can't forget his name because it's
yesterday was Bobby Bonilla Day.
Kenny Rogers. Oh yeah, Bobby Bonilla Day. Kenny Rogers walking in the winning run against the Braves to send them to the eventual World Series while we went home. Yeah, Bobby Bonilla Day is an interesting one.
$1.35 million
every year till, was it 2035?
2035. Yep.
Yeah, that's always a cause to celebrate every July 1st. And actually, in other sports, I guess they do similar things. I think the Bucks just did the same thing with Dame Lillard. He's going to get paid over his entire contract, but over a 5-year period. I think he actually gets the money all at once, though, or maybe in 2 installments, but they get to spread it out for salary cap purposes over the years. Of course, in baseball, there is no salary cap, so he gets his millions of dollars every July 1st. This probably comes in real handy, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Do you
think the Mets manager is in any kind of danger?
Ooh, I hadn't really given that much thought. Yeah, I kind of hope not. Although some of his
So do I.
decisions are a little bizarre, I have to say. But look, when we hang up from this call, I'm not sure if Mizorowski is starting the first game for the Brewers or the second game. But watch this kid pitch. My God, he throws the ball hard. He's up
Yeah.
at like 101, 102. I think he threw one 103 the other day.
Wow.
And yeah, he is something else. So they're going to have their hands full with the Bruins, but they really need to start putting it together. And I mean, we all remember last year. I mean, they were left for dead, and then they just came roaring back. It was really exciting. So I'm kind of hoping for that kind of summer,
And you got to give some credit to Philadelphia. I mean, they were 5 games back about 2 weeks ago. They're now 2 games up. The Mets at one point in time were, I think, 22 games over 500. Now they're down to 11 games over 500.
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering what you thought about Mendoza, if he might be in any kind of jeopardy at all, because Uncle Steve was on the radio the other day, and he says, you know what? Yeah, we've gone through a tough patch. That's fine. Keep the faith. Blah 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 blah. But if this continues for say another 2 weeks, somebody's got to roll. Somebody's head has got to roll if it's going to keep going like this. Even though I have to admit they have an awful lot of injuries. They have a ton of injuries out there, and it's very difficult, to overcome those kind of things. And I always go back to the same thing. I think it's because we baby the players a little too much.
Yeah.
You never saw this in the 60s and 70s.
No.
Where people just played through. You just never saw it. And I don't know.
I mean, I'm not sure if that's it or whether they're working out too much. I remember when we were kids, you remember the superstar competitions?
Mm-hmm.
And you had these football players versus the baseball players, right? And you were always like, oh my God, the football players are so much bigger and stronger than the baseball players. And how could they? The baseball players always won. Not because they didn't get big and jacked and stuff like that, but they were flexible. And they were, that flexibility helped them in the kind of stuff that they used to have in the superstar competition. And I don't see that kind of flexibility in a lot of these guys anymore. And they're probably too busy lifting weights and getting bigger and stronger. But that's not what this game is really all about.
No.
You're supposed to let the bat head do the job, not the swinging from the heels, and that's certainly possible that's creating also some real problems for people. Plus, the kids coming up learning how to throw curveballs before they're ready, I think is another big part of why there are so many elbow injuries and so many pitchers needing Tommy John surgery and stuff. Now, I'm far from an expert on this, and I just don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. We got to hope for good things as we are speaking right now. In the first game of the doubleheader, the Mets lead 2-1 over the Brewers.
Oh, good.
We'll see. Yeah.
So,
for now.
Speaking of Tommy John surgeries and injuries, how is DeGrom doing?
Yeah, so
DeGrom has looked very, very good in Texas. He looks. Jacob DeGrom has looked like Jacob DeGrom of the old. As Scott points out, and I think he's very correct, we're talking about a guy with a glass arm. He always seems to get hurt, and I think that really we have to look at his history as a player. He did not come up as a pitcher; he came up as a shortstop. which always surprised me because he's such a big kid, such a tall kid, to be a shortstop. But he actually came up as a shortstop and was converted into a pitcher. So again, we'll see what happens. I don't know.
I haven't seen. We were just talking, Brooke. I think you were that there was a rumor that the Mets were going to trade for DeGrom. I'm not really sure. I haven't seen that rumor myself, but it would certainly be a very interesting thing for them to do. As long as he can stay healthy. I mean, right now. I'm just looking at something in Texas where they're calling him the best Texas Ranger pitcher of all time. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
There was in
a lot of cases when you hear it out of the New York media, it may be just wishful thinking. I don't think Texas would be willing. I don't think you can pay them enough money to get DeGrom back. But although, let's face it, for the first 2 years of his contract with Texas, he pitched 2 games because he was always injured. But what you get is that time where he's actually on the field, and when he is on the field, he's good. And that's extremely important. So,
yeah. So let's go.
I guess we will see. Let's go, Mets. So we are going to close this out. We're going to go watch the game. I'm going to watch it on MLB TV because they're not being broadcast on Fox or any of these other stupid things. And of course, I can't watch them when they play Atlanta because they're blocked out. And I refuse to watch the Atlanta channel because I have to listen to their announcers. And so
right,
guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, and thank you both, and thank you to all our listeners for spending some time with us and listening to baseball. And we'd like to thank all our subscribers for your continued support, and we do appreciate that. And if you're not a subscriber at the present time to the Nova Society on the platform of your choice, please do subscribe. We really do appreciate that, and keep the emails coming in. We will be getting to those next time, and we'll see you again next time on the Nova Society.
The Nova Society is a production of Nova Society Media, a division of the Phoenix Research Institute. We'd like to thank our production partners, Buzzsprout, who hosts the Nova Society, Audacity, our editing partners, Apple iTunes, the largest source of podcasts and music on the internet, Spotify, the most popular platform for the Nova Society, and iHeartRadio, your source for all things music and podcasting. The Nova Society is available on all of these and other quality platforms listed in our description. We'd also like to thank all of our listeners. Without your support, the Nova Society would not be possible. If you have a question or comment, we can be reached at nova.society.podcast@gmail.com. So for Dr. Brooklyn Ann Weldon, Dr. Scott Gershwer, and all of our production partners here at the Nova Society, I'm Dr. Mark Bound. Remember, the true power in society is knowledge. Thanks for listening, and we will see you again next time.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening!